Trinity, and we lived at O'Grey, so that was quite nearly a mile and a half I suppose to go, but we went down there, and of course the German army bikes, you couldn't backpedal with them, they put the brakes on, so if you went down there you had to watch how you did. Of course you went over the handlebars, and they were big 28-inch wheels, like.
So what happened when you got to this hustings?
Well, there was JJ with his band. He had an accordion band outside and all this and that, like, and I wasn't really into this yet. I had to give my seat up because the hall was getting chock and block, like, so the old man said, I was standing in the back of the hall because I couldn't vote, like, and so I was about 18, I suppose. I wasn't 18. You could vote in 18 in them days, I think. You couldn't vote before 18 in them days.
You might have been 21, actually.
Anyway. I did vote up in Trinity. I did vote once in Trinity.
Was that a senator's election, or...?
No, there was no senators in them days. Yeah, no. And, of course, the thing was, although JJ was here, he was a deputy. He started, I don't know who brought this idea into to senators now. That was some years after. But in them days, the ones I'm talking about, there was the Jurats and all the vicars were. There was about 100 people in the states if they wanted to be. Like now they fitted them all in there. But
you mentioned the vicars there. Does church mean anything to you?
No.
So when the vicars were in the States, you weren't particularly interested in what they had to say?
No, I'm afraid. Religion and politics, in my opinion, are two different worlds.
You previously hinted that perhaps the Lieutenant Governor was one Crown officer that we could do without. How about the Dean? Is he another one we could do without?
Well, we don't pay him anyway. He got no say in. He hadn't got a vote in the times I'm talking about. They had a vote. They had a vote, like, but today they don't have a vote. But
why do you think the Lieutenant Governor is still there? I mean, he's hardly needed, is he, these days?
Well, this morning on the radio they said we had to save 68 million, is it, or something? And I said to the girl when I phoned up, well, I said, I can save you at least 10-12 million, I said, because all that entourage you got up there, ladies in waiting, chefs, ballads and all this and that, that could be sold off to a millionaire, and all this could be done through the internet. But
of course, we could put Freddie Cohen up there. He likes the international role.
Well, I mean, say he's the one to do it. I suppose all the muckahoos at the Home Office, because as I said, it goes in the inbox on the desk, and it's a fortnight before it goes into the outbox. It's lying around there for, and I said about Mrs. Senator. I told you before there. Kinnard, with the affair in Gibraltar there. This
year is the first ever. It's not a total, but it's almost as near as a general election.
Whose leg are you pulling there?
Right. So, well, I was wondering what you thought about that.
Of course, it's not. 90% of the constables are going to be contested, aren't they?
Well, that's up to the public, unfortunately. They're there to be.
Let's be real, all right. I mean, now, all right. Butcher is packing in at St John's and Rondell's stepping in there. Now, why isn't somebody else contesting Rondell?
Right. Well, that's a job for you, perhaps.
That's mine, ain't.
Well, there you are. I don't think Mr. Rondell's a spring chicken exactly.
No. Oh, well, this is another thing, like, and I'm going to offend him because he's made Ted Barber, like, 73, that's too old to start a new career. Although he's been in before, I mean, he's one of your mates as well, sort of thing, but let's be honest, I want young people in there. I don't mind if they make mistakes at the start of it.
You think there is benefit in being young, do you?
Well, you've got your whole life in front of you, and therefore it's up to you to look after your constituents more than if you're going to pack it in a few years' time. See, my opinion is that Terry LeSueur, in the state the island is in now, I expect Terry LeSueur to be like a soldier in battle to die at his post. You might think, oh yes, I do, yes.
Well, politically he's dying. I mean, he's...
No, he's not. No, there's still a lot more years in him yet. But,
Well, he's retiring, let's put it that way. He's going.
I said this to Walker. You see, another thing, they must take their wages. Walker didn't used to take his wages. Now, this is a whole load of cobblers to me. Anybody who's taken all the stick from me, you and Dick, Tom and Harry, and not taking their wages, hasn't got all these marbles in the right place, in my opinion.
So, on your ballot sheet, not that we're allowed to see, when you get to put your X's, when you get to get your votes, anybody over a certain age won't be getting your vote.
Well, I don't know who's standing yet, do I?
No, that is one of the problems, isn't it?
Yes, no. And they got to live in my district.
Right.
It's in,
for your deputy, to be a deputy.
Yes, obviously. See, I don't want senators. I want all the same class. I don't want constables.
But you get the vote anyway. They're up. They will be up. Whether St Helier's contested, I don't know. For constable, I don't know whether it's contested.
Nah, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, nobody contested Crocoff last year there, and he's not going to be contested. I don't call Crocoff the good constable myself.
No. Have you got any favourites for a senator in these forthcoming elections, given the already existing field?
Well, I don't know. I think I'll definitely. Can I tell you who I'm voting for?
Well, absolutely.
I'll vote for Gore.
Right.
But there again, I hope to ask him a question at the you know, after reading that paper, that story last night there, where this bloke's on income, the illicit pension there, and he's going out and spending all day. The money's too easily got out of Social Security. I've said that from the start.
So, Gorst for Senator, who would you suggest for Chief Minister? Anybody likely?
I suppose Chief Minister. See, I want Joseph to stay as Treasury Minister, but to not to push the buck on to somebody else. Like Cohen has said, all this has been done before I was in office, like, you know, and there's too much shoving walking around here, and they just say, oh, well, this was passed before I was in office. That's not right to me.
Do you think we need a Chief Minister?
Well, somebody's got to take the buck back. We got to have.
We've got Bailiff, Chief Minister, Lieutenant Governor.
Now, here's another very important part that I'm going to bring up in one of the hustings or something. I don't believe everybody getting the same rates of pay. I know we're talking about the House of Commons. That's a lot bigger thing. But to get people all sitting, just coming up this year, being elected this year, getting the same rates of pay as the Chief Minister, regardless of who he is to me totally wrong. You don't think so?
Well, I don't know. That's how to assess it. Perhaps £2 a head, according to the population they represent.
But don't you...
£5 a head?
No, you're standing, you are. Now, do you honestly think there should be a graduated form of pay for the position you hold?
No, I think they should just have one rate. But it's got to be adequate to maintain a decent lifestyle. Because the establishment, you see, wants to have a higher rate so it can attract more of its clan, you see, and they're not going to work for 45 grand a year, you know, lawyer, advocates, etc.
No,
300,000 a year.
No, well, this is where I'm going to offend you, see, it's because I think the backbenchers are overpaid, and I would rob some of the money from Peter to pay Paul. And I would distribute...
Do you not feel backbenchers have a job in the sense of trying to balance what the Council of Ministers do? I mean, there's this scrutiny which...
Scrutiny to me is only an accountant's job, in my opinion, see that you're putting the money in the right place to me.
Do you think we should have a proper opposition?
Well, this is where we come back to a party system of government again, which I'm in favour of. But how do you start it? I mean, say, you know, at the end of the last election, and I'm bringing you into here, we were going to have the More For Party, Time for Change Party, the Jersey Democratic Movement. The Union bloke was going to field candidates. We were going to be riddled with parties. What's happened to all of them? They've all fallen by the wayside. Why is that?
I wonder how you would choose the party that you would join.
Ah, well, I'd have to see their manifesto, wouldn't I?
Indeed. Difficult, isn't it?
Yes, without seeing it.
Do you think that's what the public wants, is a proper manifesto, that it knows what candidates stand for?
I don't think the country people, you see, the country people don't want it. It's the country people that's going to get the people into power here. It's not the townies, because 50% of the townies are not going to bother to turn out and vote.
So what do those country people represent?
Well, the old establishment, in my opinion. Because you see, we're on a too good most of the people are on a too good of idea, like, you know.
Well, that's changing though, isn't it? The economy's going into, well, recession.
Well, it's never going to come back to what it was. I mean, so I don't care what they say about it. The west of the world isn't going to allow tiny pinpricks of an island like this, the Caymans and the Isle of Man, to live off their sweat and toil. That's understandable. In fact, they're stupid if they do that. And the finance industry is finished, in my opinion.
I'm afraid, on that bright note, we're going to have to leave this because we're running out of
film. There you are.
I thank you for your time.